The last sound that lingered before the door clicked shut was Darian's familiar whistle, a small tune that always marked his departures. It floated down the Arbat hallway, fading just enough to remind me that he was gone again. Another work trip, he had said, adjusting his scarf. Just 2 weeks this time, Marcel. I nodded with the practiced smile of a wife, but inside, a quiet weight pressed on my chest. 14 days stretched ahead, long and hollow. Rex, loyal as ever, sat by the door, amber eyes following my every move. I crouched beside him, hand gliding over his thick fur. "It's just us again, boy," I murmured. He tilted his head as if he understood the ache in my heart better than anyone could. Evening light filtered through the panoramic windows, painting the apartment in gold and amber. Moscow sprawled beneath us, alive, indifferent, breathtaking. But tonight, it felt like a distant dream. In the kitchen, the faint scent of coffee lingered, a ghost of Darian's morning ritual. I poured a glass of cold water, letting its chill anchor me in the silence. Rex's nails clicked softly across the marble floor, a rhythm that almost comforted me. We moved to the living room where the lamplight wrapped everything in warmth. Sliding into the leather sofa, I absently ran my fingers through Rex's fur, feeling the emptiness the apartment had absorbed in Darian's absence. His laugh, the calm certainty in his hand finding mine, the rhythm of his breathing, all were gone. Rex rested his head on my knees, a silent companion filling the gaps my husband left behind. "You and I make a good team, don't we?" I whispered, a faint smile curving my lips. He wagged his tail once, agreement or perhaps understanding. I stood and stepped onto the terrace, the cool evening breeze brushing my skin. The city glittered below, alive and unbothered by my quiet loneliness. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" I asked Rex, though the question was really for myself. Somewhere distant, church bells marked the hour. The night was young, but a familiar ache had settled deep within me. Leaning on the glass railing, I wondered, what does a woman become when the silence lasts too long? Rex sighed low beside me as if sharing my thought. Inside, I poured a glass of red wine, settling back onto the sofa. The movie I played on the screen was one Darian and I had seen countless times. But tonight my mind wandered elsewhere, to airports, stadiums, and the brief tired laughter of his calls. Later, I found myself in the study, our shared sanctuary. Shelves of travel photos smiled back at me. Rome, Prague, Istanbul. In each frame, Darian's arm encircled me, calm and confident while I radiated light. Tracing a frame from Lake Como, laughter under the rain sprang back into memory, sweet and aching. "Do you think love changes, Rex?" I whispered. His warm, steady eyes met mine. "Maybe it doesn't disappear," I thought. "Maybe it just grows quieter." Thunder rumbled softly in the distance, rain beginning to fall like hesitant memories returning. Then came the knock. Gentle, uncertain, insistent. My pulse raced. Rex lifted his head, growl low, alert but not hostile. I stood frozen, wine trembling in hand. The knock came again, firmer this time. Glancing at the clock, 10:47 p.m., too late for a delivery. Too early for Darian's call. Slowly, I crossed the room, Rex padding close. The handle turned under my fingers and the hallway light spilled in, revealing a tall silhouette I hadn't seen before. He was soaked from the rain. Black coat clinging, damp hair framing his face, a small leather folder under one arm. Polite, calm, but something unreadable shimmered in his eyes. "Mrs. Vulov?" he asked, voice deep even. "Yes," I replied, tightening my grip. "I'm sorry to disturb you. I just moved in next door. Apartment 1403. Rain caught me without an umbrella. I wanted to introduce myself before the storm worsened." Relief and hesitation battled inside me. "You must be the new neighbor," I said softly. "Welcome," I murmured. He smiled faintly. "Thank you. Didn't expect to meet thunder and Moscow rain," he replied. His warmth carried an undercurrent, subtle yet undeniable. Without thinking, I found myself saying, "Would you like to come in for a moment?" He hesitated, then nodded. Rex moved closer to me, eyes locked on the stranger. "It's okay, Rex," I whispered, patting his head. The man smiled, acknowledging the unspoken loyalty between us. As he stepped inside, the city beyond the windows blurred under the rain. Light softened, and the apartment felt charged with something unspoken. A quiet tension wrapped around us, the kind that made one aware of every heartbeat, every glance. I poured him coffee, noting the edges of blueprints peeking from his folder. Architecture restoration, he explained. Work assignment from St. Petersburg. A slow, knowing smile tugged at his lips. Our eyes met, and for a heartbeat, time stilled. Rex shifted, breaking the spell, and the moment passed. But the ripple lingered. The storm outside intensified, thunder rolling closer. And as I watched Marcel, stranger yet inexplicably familiar, set his coat aside, a strange flutter of anticipation stirred inside me. Mini cliffhanger. What could this unexpected neighbor mean for the quiet rhythm of Elena's life with Darian? Morning arrived with a gentle hush. The storm had passed, leaving streets glistening, reflections dancing in puddles like scattered stars. I stood on the terrace, coffee in hand, Rex at my side, and let the calm settle over me. Marcel's unexpected visit lingered in my thoughts, a ripple in the steady current of solitude that Darian's absence had created. His presence was like a spark in the quiet, subtle yet undeniable, leaving me unsettled in a way I hadn't expected. Darian's call came mid-morning, his voice tired but warm, a tether to my heart. "Everything okay there?" he asked. I smiled, a faint curve of my lips. "Yes," I murmured softly. "Just the usual quiet without you." His chuckle carried over the line, reassurance threaded through every syllable. "I'll be home in 2 weeks. Try not to miss me too much." "I'll try," I replied, though my heart knew the days would stretch long, lonely, and full of longing. Rex nudged my hand, steady and comforting, a silent reminder that even in solitude, I was not alone. The apartment, bathed in the soft glow of the morning sun, felt different now. Marcel's visit had introduced a subtle tension, the kind that made ordinary spaces feel alive, expectant. I tidied, organized, letting my hands busy themselves while my mind replayed last night. Architecture blueprints, his slow smile, the way he had observed every detail of our apartment. It was disarming, intriguing. Yet beneath the curiosity, a line of caution traced itself, an awareness that my heart had its limits. Afternoon drew me outside for a walk. Rex padded beside me as the city shimmered under a light drizzle, street lamps reflecting off wet cobblestones. I inhaled deeply, letting the rhythm of my footsteps match the soft percussion of raindrops. Memories of Darian surfaced. Quiet evenings reading, long talks about everything and nothing, the comfort of a hand always finding mine. Loneliness, I realized, was not merely absence, but a reminder of what truly mattered, of love both present and distant. Near the corner cafe, a couple laughed over shared pastries. A pang of longing tugged at my chest. So ordinary, yet so profound. Rex leaned against me, sensing the shift in my mood. The world moved around me, alive and vivid, reminding me that solitude could be gentle, reflective, even enlightening. Returning to the apartment, golden hour sunlight painted walls in warm hues, filling the space with a soft, forgiving light. I sank onto the sofa, Rex curling at my feet, and let the quiet envelope me. Evening arrived, and with it, the ritual of Darian's call. His voice carried miles and responsibility, yet threaded with love. "How's my favorite coach?" he teased. "Surviving," I laughed softly. "Rex and I have been keeping each other company." His pause spoke more than words. 2 weeks will feel like forever without you," he said. I smiled, fingers brushing Rex's fur, feeling the gentle pulse of life around me. Distance stretched, yet the heart's capacity for connection persisted, unwavering. Later, the apartment dimmed into soft lamplight. My thoughts drifted once more to Marcel, the stranger who had stirred something unanticipated. Was it curiosity, attraction, or merely the intrigue of someone new in a familiar rhythm? His presence had been subtle, polite, yet undeniable, like a faint chord vibrating in the quiet. I found myself imagining conversations yet to come, a connection forming in hesitant, careful ways. Rex rested, alert but trusting, a silent witness to my swirling thoughts. As night deepened, the city beyond the windows shimmered under streetlights. I poured myself a glass of red wine, letting it catch the lamplight, warm and rich. Reflection came easy now. Love was not only grand gestures or constant presence, but the small, unwavering consistencies. A loyal dog, a phone call, a shared memory. And sometimes it was the unexpected ripples, a knock at the door, a fleeting smile that reminded us life could shift in subtle, profound ways. I thought of Darian, of Marcel, of Rex, and of myself navigating these interwoven currents of heart and habit. The storm had passed, yet its echoes remained. A quiet sense of hope, of anticipation, of possibility. The evening stretched ahead, soft and inviting, and I knew that solitude could coexist with connection, that distance could coexist with love. The heart, resilient and tender, adjusted, learned, and embraced both absence and presence with equal measure. And then, a gentle knock broke the evening calm. My pulse quickened, and Rex lifted his head, ears alert. Outside, the hall light flickered, shadows shifting slightly. I took a breath, letting anticipation roll over me. It was late, too late for ordinary interruptions. Yet in that moment, the unknown arrived, delicate and charged, and I realized that even in a life mapped by routines, surprises, both tender and thrilling, waited patiently at the edges of the familiar.